do I have 6 other projects sitting over here, cut out and ready to go, and a full basket of half-touched mending over there? Yes. Am I gonna start something completely different today anyway? Also yes. Shh. It's fine. It's definitely fine. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Cass, and I'm the fire portion of Fire and Ice Designs, and today we're back in the sewing room to do some more sewing. And what we're gonna work on today is something a little bit more autumnal. It is September, and on my run this morning, I was actually feeling a little bit chilly, and the first touches of fall are happening. So, in honor of that, I'm gonna take on the project that I had planned to do in March of 2020 and ordered the fabric for, in a trend that seems to be continuing. Ordered the fabric for, have the fabric for it, and then we packed up everything to move, and it stayed in its box. And that project is the American Duchess cape that they put out their pattern for free on their Patreon, and I downloaded and scaled up from the grid and printed, cut out. And I'm gonna use some wool from Burnley and Trowbridge, and I don't know what I'm gonna use for the lining yet, because we're gonna make a mock-up first. Last year, there was a series of YouTube videos that came out also where people are making the American Duchess cape and joining the American Duchess cape cult. I watched those, and people who are bigger than a B cup, it seems, have issues with the crossover straps. So I'm gonna do a mock-up and see what we can do about that. Probably be venturing out into the world to acquire some lining fabric, because I don't think I have anything in stock that will work that's not this lining fabric here that I used for Ariel that I don't want to think about. And it's polyester, and I would feel weird. I think we're going to try to go with something patterned so there's a little bit of a peak of something underneath. But yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. We'll just go ahead and get to it. I have got out the instructions, and there is the cape sleeve, so to speak, and then that is the back piece and the collar piece and the front wrap piece. And this is the piece that I suspect is going to have fit issues. The other thing that I've seen is that this piece and this piece don't line up properly, which, whatever, it's fine. I couldn't figure out how to draft this on my grid, so I had Zach print it, and then I taped it together, and it ended up with stickers on it, as you can see. But, we're going to attempt to flatten this and cut out some mock-up pieces, and then I can sew the mock-up together and see what we need to fix. is done. I have gotten it to lay across the chest the way I want it to, and I think the easiest fix to fix this situation here is going to be to pull these out because they're not sitting on my shoulder where I want them. So I'm going to pull that out. Zach has measured how much on each side. They're not even. I'm going to split the difference and hope that that works. And yeah, you can see, I haven't actually seen this, but that's how I have it closed in the back for the time being. And the other modification that I'm making is the sleeve bit is longer by like 2.5 inches than the back part. So I'm just going to make the back part longer and extend the shoulder seams out and leave the sleeves alone. Just make this wider here because I'm apparently wide in the shoulder. So that's the modification I'm going to make to the pattern. Probably just going to do it right on the lining fabric once I get the lining fabric figured out. And that's the next step, is acquiring fabric. Zach's doing dishes in the other room, but I started working on this and I thought I would check in. This is what I acquired for the lining. I am very excited about this because there are blue tones in the wool that I got, and then this blue tartan, which gives some Ravenclaw vibes, which I'm excited about. Always excited about Ravenclaw vibes. And I'm hoping I have some extra of this material, but we'll see. If I do, I might try to make a skirt. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Task at hand first. This is the piece that I'm not really sure about because I've split, this is the one with the darts in the front. I've split it just here, and one of the splits ends up going down the leg of the dart, and I'm adding 2¼ inches between the darts, but I think that means I'm going to end up needing to move the darts because it's also going to make it wider down here. So what I might do is just make the darts slightly wider to accommodate, because I do want the narrowness down there, but I need more width up here. And I'm not sure how to do that, so I think I am going to be swinging the dart legs out further. Ta-da! The lining is assembled. You can see, I pressed all the seam allowances open. Well, I pressed the shoulder seam allowances open. I pressed the sleeve seam allowances down towards the sleeve. Yeah, we'll call that a sleeve. And then the ties. Let's come over here where there's better lighting. I'm trying to decide if I want to put a pocket in the cape, but I think having a pocket in the cape, because I would want to put it here. Having a pocket, putting anything in the pocket would affect the flow of the cape. So I don't think a pocket in the cape is going to happen, because you want the cape to be flowy. Now, anything I'm wearing, hopefully, anything I'm wearing under this would have a secure waistband and a spot for a pocket. So, cape doesn't need a pocket. So there we go. The lining is done. time to move on to the regular. And I'm not gonna film that because it's gonna be me doing the same thing that I did with the lining. I'll check back in when I have all the pieces cut out. Successful progress. It is 4 o'clock, just after 4, and all the pieces of the exterior are cut out and all the darts are sewn. That I wanted to make sure I got done because the chalk markings slough off of this wool pretty rapidly. You can kind of see them there, but at the moment I start mucking with it, it goes away. So darts are sewn, pieces are cut out. Oh, and the collar is sewn together. Hang on, we'll get that. Okay, so this is the lining and this is the fashion fabric, but I made the lining piece the same size as the inside, or wool by mistake, because I forgot to cut out a piece when I was making the pattern. We're just gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna do some fancy top stitching around the edge here, probably in like a silver, because this is giving me major Ravenclaw vibes. So we're just gonna keep going in that direction. Silver star top stitching around the edge, but that's the collar. That's all sewn together, and it's flipped right side out and pressed. Ba-da-da. So that needs to be attached once this is together, and this should be pretty fast because I just need to attach these to the back piece and then attach the sleeve pieces. And then it's bag lining it, which I might not do. I might not bag line it. I might hand sew in the lining, or I might bag line it. I haven't decided. I have to go pick up the tiny human, so I have time to think about it. Alright, good morning. It's the next day, and I have sewn some test edge stitching stitches. There's a star stitch on my machine. These are the settings I'm going with, so I remember so I remember later. I have not yet had my second cup of coffee. So I tried the copper metallic thread. It was a pain to work with as usual, but I have a lot of it. I just don't like it. I don't feel like it suits the fabric. So I tried gray, going for, Ravenclaw vibes. This is book accurate, this is film accurate. This is all sort of a suggestion anyway. And then I tried that. I like that better, but I feel like those are too small, so I increased the size because it's just the default size on the sewing machine. For whatever reason, it keeps starting us off real close together. I'm not sure why. Even does it on here, but then it spaces out appropriately. So we're gonna use that to edge stitch around the collar, and then when we get home from our adventure later, I'm gonna sew the lining, and actually I'm gonna put in a wand pocket, and it's gonna run diagonal across there. So she will have a pocket, but it will only hold a wand, because it's the only thing that's going to go in there that's not going to be weighted down. And here we go. And I'm back. It's Saturday. I'm actually in here 2 days in a row. Amazing. Zach's over there editing.
There's a lot of stuff from Williamsburg that's unorganized. Trying to fix that.
And I have just basted the collar onto the exterior of the cloak. So that's on. And then I'm going to install the wand pocket. I did the decorative stitching. It's super subtle and you can't really see it on this side, but you can see it on that side better. And it actually doesn't look terrible on the back side, so that's cool. But it's on there, and it's actually made the collar edges stiffer, which is good. So collar is attached. It's gonna stand up nicely. It's still droopy because I didn't do an interlining or anything, but I don't need a super, it's a cape. I'm gonna put the wand pocket in. I need to get the wand and do some measurements and get my scraps and cut some pieces out and attach that, and then I can sew. I've decided I'm gonna do top stitching, decorative top stitching around the edges. So I'm just gonna machine stitch the whole thing together rather than hand stitch in the lining. There's no need to do that. I have plenty of other hand sewing that needs to happen. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is figure out the wand pocket. And I will give you the measurements that I use for that once I figure it out. So I cut out a 4 by 18-ish rectangle from one of the scraps and ironed down the edges and stitched it on. You can see the different pattern. But now, ta-da! Wand pocket. Because what else am I gonna need while I'm swooshing about in a wizard cape? Now I'm gonna attach the lining and the fashion fabric, the wool, right sides together, stitch around all but the last 10 inches, and then flip it right side out and give it a good press before I edge stitch. We might finish this today. Ta-da! It's wearable and it's swooshy. What do I need to do? I need to do edge stitching, which is optional. I need to sew closed the gap.
What was
It's fine. Everything is fine. And that's it. That's all I need to do. I like it. I want to wear it now. And that's a wrap on our on my American Duchess cape project. Overall, I'm really happy with the way that the cape came out. I enjoy wearing it. It makes me feel witchy, and it's perfect for a climate like where we are in North Carolina, where it's not cold enough for a coat, but it's not cold enough for a coat. So you need something, but a wool coat, a full proper wool coat is too warm. So this gives you ventilation possibilities, but also will keep your core warm. I have two things that I would change. Number one, I would make the wand pocket shorter. I can go back in and adjust that manually, but it's just a little bit too long for my wand. My wand gets lost in the pocket and it's hard to get it out. And the other thing is I would take the ties in the back and I would make that a hook and bar instead, or a button closure, just because the ties, it's hard to get it sufficiently secure. The other thing that I've discovered, and this is more of a me thing, is I have a problem wearing this to work because I carry a backpack to work, and capes like this and backpacks don't really go well together. But otherwise, this has met all of my goals. I want to make another one with a hood this time, but that's, not in the cards anytime soon. Since, it's going to be cold this week and maybe next week, and then we're not going to have cold weather anymore. Because, Winter is 2 weeks long in North Carolina, and that's it. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching me join the American Duchess cake cult, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more sewing shenanigans, and let me know down below what is your favorite part of winter. I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good day.